D16 from Volvo is often the most reliable engines ever produced. For America, they stopped producing them around 2016, 2017 with a few trucks that come on a Volvo with an ARI sleeper, but most commonly those trucks came on a VT800, VT830, and VT880, which I happen to own a VT830 and I sold it right before getting married. But here are the top 3 most common issues in the Volvo D16. These common issues are not going to be in any particular order. They're just the top 3 most common issues on the Volvo D16. It's a very great engine, but the parts are becoming more scarce and scarce. Even though they make them for Europe, it's hard to get parts back in America. So if you have them, guess what, guys? You're going to have to end up paying a lot of money to repair the engine, either when it comes to a rebuild or to source the parts in general. With that being said, I would go back and buy another one of these Volvos with the D16 motor, but next time I'd be more prepared. The first common issue that you would run across when owning a Volvo with a D16 engine or a Volvo D16 engine is fuel priming issues. Yes, priming issues is a huge factor. These Volvos had huge, and I mean huge, problems with keeping the prime on the fuel when you turn off the truck. Oftentimes the fuel will lose its prime and you'll be hard cranking, hard starting the truck multiple times, even up to spending 30 minutes just to start it. Here's the common fix for it. You need new new injector cups. The original OEM injector cups were bad and Volvo did a recall on them as far as I know, and anyone who placed the new injector cups on there never had issues. And the second problem with the second fix to this is the check valve on the priming pump itself. Now the priming pump is not as big as an issue, but there's a little check valve on the fuel priming pump to where you can manually prime the fuel if you lost all your fuel or you ran out of fuel. And this check valve often leaks fuel, causing the prime to lose in the fuel line, and air getting in there causing the fuel to leak down back into the fuel tank. And same thing goes with the fuel priming pump as well. Those often need to be replaced, and replacing those not that hard of a task, but to fix all of these, it's either going to be a $5 check valve or up to couple grand and injector cups, which with labor you end up paying about $3 grand to change the injector cups. That is the number 1 issue. Volvo D16s are notorious for losing prime in the fuel system, and you end up hard starting your truck. Second most common issue is watch out for your bull gears. I don't know if they had a recall on this, but bull gears, all the gear train, which is on the back of the motor, not on the front like on a D13. Since in the back of the motor, your labor is going to be double, like replacing the engine if there's something wrong with your bull gears. Often, bull gears or gears in the gear train, like the air compressor and stuff, lose teeth, and you may skip timing or skip something and break something, or the gears fall off when going uphill because they're not really securely fastened there. So the repair could be a brand new engine, or if you got somebody to do it cheap, to replace those bull gears or the gears, because it's going to be very, very hard to find parts for that D16 engine, so you may as well end up just replacing the whole engine, which can cost up to $30,000. And the last most common issue on these trucks is electrical. Be ready to keep fixing electrical on this truck, because usually when electrical goes bad on these D16 engines, especially if it's attached to the motor and has some bad ground wire or something, well, basically the bad wiring is going to cause the truck to pretty much almost shut down. You're not going to read oil pressure, you're not going to read boost, and it's going to derate your truck. Now, earlier in these days, the DPF filters on those D16 motors would not derate your truck to a certain speed. You're just going to have less power, and a whole bunch of check engine lights saying your DPF filter is full, but it will not physically limit the speed of the truck. I have tried that myself and have not been physically limited to the speed of the truck. But if you have a problem with your wiring harness, and electrical issues, I mean ECUs, wiring harnesses, and other wires connected to the engine, you will, and I mean you will, have your engine derated at some point or another. So get ready to replace an ECU, which can cost about $1,500, or a couple $100 and finding the electrical short somewhere. But be ready, because these D16s are known to have electrical issues as they age, more than any other diesel engine out there. Now, as far as goes honorable mention, the honorable mention is coolant lines. Yes, D16s have problems with coolant lines. You know why? It's because it's Volvo. I don't think it's only D16, that's why it's an honorable mention. I think it's on the D13 and D12 as well. A lot of coolant lines in those trucks can last quite a while, a couple years or even a million miles. While on D16, be ready to change it every year or every other year. You have to change all of your coolant lines, and probably including even charge pipes for your turbo. For whatever reason, because the engines, I guess, run hotter, it just burns and disintegrates the material of the coolant lines. So be ready and have extra coolant lines in hand to change it, because you don't want to be stranded in the middle of the desert. Nevertheless, to say these engines are really powerful. I think the most powerful option Volvo made was 650 horsepower, and that's the most power from factory that you could buy in the USA when the D16 was available. Not canceled. Guys, I'm Eddie B. 2004 turn right. This particular package, driving attempt on the 6 Series.